What's good, y'all, man? We are back again with another video, man. Today we are here with the last installment of the top 10 videos. Today we're going to focus on the center position. Right after this video, not right after, but later on in this week, I got a couple surprises for y'all because I am going on vacation next week, so I'm not going to upload next week. Then I'm on call the week after that, so I don't know if I'm going to upload then. So it's going to be some videos dropping this week, some really good videos and keep y'all going for a couple weeks while I'm out. So look out for that. Now, for the new people, the criteria for my list are if you didn't play over 42 games or over, you're not on this list. I don't care if you're Joel Embiid, you didn't play 42 games, I won't put you on the list. Did the same thing with Anthony Davis, Paul George, I did that with everybody. So you won't be on the list. And I get my positions off of Basketball Reference. So if it's a center, you think that's not should be on here, that's not on here, maybe he's a power forward. Same thing, vice versa, all that. So start off the list. We're going to start from the bottom like always. At number 10, we have DeAndre Ayton. Now, him being this low showed me personally how talented and deep the center position is. Because when we're looking at a guy like DeAndre Ayton, he can hit the mid-range shot, he can rebound, good defender, gotten way better than he used to be. So I'll say a good defender, can pop out, hit a three-point shot. Really, really good on the pick and roll, especially next to Chris Paul. He makes everybody look good. But DeAndre Ayton is really good on the pick and roll. But with all that, he's still number 10 on my list because this center position is pretty deep and he's not as good as I want him to be. All those qualities that he has, he's good at them, but he's not great at any of them. So that's why he's pretty low on this list. And even though I said he's a good rebounder, I think he only averages like 8 rebounds. So I would like him to be a way better rebounder. I want him to be a bigger paint presence than he is right now because he kind of has the same thing as the other AD has. He doesn't really do nothing in the paint. He shies away from the paint. He gets most of his work from the mid-range. So that's why his rebounds are pretty low because he's all the way outside. So that's my thing with him. But he's still a really, really good player. Just got signed to what? $33 million per year. So that's pretty good for him. But that's why he's here on my list. Now at number 9, we have a guy that was going against DeAndre Ayton in the playoffs, and a guy who I still think is one of the most underrated players we have in this league. Jonas is one of the league's most dominant post-up players. He's a 7-foot, 265-pound guy with some of the best footwork we have in this league. Also, he's one of the best rebounders in the league, finishing top 10 in rebounding. He simply dominated DeAndre Ayton in Game 4, dropping 26 and 15 boards, even a clutch 3 in the fourth quarter. I remember in the beginning of the season, he was shooting like 42% from 3. He was their all-star in the beginning of the season. He was shooting crazy. I believe this game in the background, he hit 7 threes. He was shooting wild, but I think he finished with like 31% from 3 for the rest of the year. So that's still decent for him. But yeah, he had a really good season. For him to be this low sounds crazy, but the center position is just super deep, and him being on the Pelicans, that's scary for the league because he's one of the most talented centers that we had. His value is just not up there with other guys ahead of him that we'll talk about later. But talent-wise, he literally has it all. He's gotten way better on defense. He's one of the reasons why I'm excited to see Zion come back because I just can't put a ceiling on this team because from top to bottom, they're so talented. So at number 9, we have Jonas Valanciunas. At number 8, we have one of my personal favorite guys, and a guy who's starting to become misunderstood, and that's Kristaps Porzingis. Now, Kristaps always had the notion that he never is truly healthy, and that's true. I get that. But when we look at this year, he actually had a pretty healthy year. He played 51 games. Now, hold on. I know 51 is crazy from 82, but he was heavily impacted by COVID. He missed almost a month of basketball from COVID. Now, the fit didn't work with him and Luka, mostly because how they played him. I'm still going to die on that hill. They just used Kristaps totally wrong. But when we looked at him on Washington, he kind of looked like the old Kristaps. He looked like the Kristaps from 2020 when he was just simply dominant, winning games for the team. I remember it was a stretch in 2020, and that's why I bring up 2020, when him and Seth Curry was just winning games without Luka. Luka had that ankle injury problem in his second year, and him and Seth Curry was dominated. They were dominated, and he kind of looked like that this year, man. He was taking control of games for the Wizards, and they started winning more games than they should have, and that's why they sat him towards the end of the year. So he missed a couple more games because of that. But Kristaps is still a great scorer, a great shot blocker, and an improved rebounder, and I'm really excited to see him next to Bradley Beal. This Wizards team, they look fun. I don't think they'll be that good. They can probably scratch the surface for a play-in spot. But other than that, man, he's at number 8. Now, at number 7, we have Robert Williams, man. Robert Williams is one of my guys, man. This year, he made me a true fan. This was kind of his first year really getting the starting spot on the Celtics, and he earned it, bro. He should have been Defensive Player of the Year. It sucked that he got hurt with like a month left in the regular season. That's why he lost it. But he was just simply dominating. He's one of those guys where you don't look at the stat sheet at all. You look directly at his impact. His impact made Bam look like a shell of himself. His impact made it hard for Giannis to dominate in the semifinals. And his impact made it hard for anybody to get any buckets in the paint at all, especially in the finals. He had 5 blocks in that game 6. Game 6 that they lost, and I think he had 15 and 10 that game. He's also a really, really good passer. Like, I know we like to talk about his offense a lot, but I mean his defense a lot, but on offense, he has the same kind of thing where you look at like his screen assists. I know a lot of people don't really pay attention to that, but he sets really good screens. He's a really good passer, really good in the pick and roll next to Marcus Smart, and I just like him as a player, man. Like, his impact is there. His impact is there. Like, made Bam look sorry for 4 out of the 6 games that they played. Giannis, it was kind of hard for him to dominate in game 1 and game 7. That's because Rob Will was just simply dominant. And then, like I said, 5 blocks in 1 game. He was dominating that game 6. He was the only player that showed up. So shout out to Rob Will, man. I know he has a Defensive Player of the Year in his future. He definitely should have it this year, man. But I'm excited for him and his future and his team's future, even though I like to hate on the Celtics because it's easy to hate on, but other than that, man, that's it for him. Next, we have number 6. We have my guy, first-time All-Star, Jared Allen. Now, when we signed Jared Allen to that 5-year, $100 million contract, I hated it because I felt like you don't sign a center to that big of a contract, especially when he's so one-dimensional. Well, I was really wrong. Jared came back and proved to me and to everyone that he is one of the league's best centers. He was our anchor, and when he went down, so did we. We were 35-21 with him, and without him, we were 9-17. He was our all-star. At the brink, he was our all-star. I was questioning if Darius would make it over guys like Fred VanVleet or LaMelo, but I thought Jared Allen had an all-star spot. Like, I thought it was sealed. And then when he didn't make it, I was so confused why they would put guys like Chris Middleton over him when Chris Middleton barely played. And Jared Allen was just simply dominant in the beginning of the year. But what did he do the next day after he got snubbed? He dropped 29 and 22, and he got us the game-winning and one to win us that game. And we needed that game because at that time we was kind of fighting for a top 4 spot in the playoffs. And that was before all the injuries struck. But yeah, he was dominant that game, man. That's the game he needed for him to get in the All-Star game, and that they gave him the All-Star after that. But he came back this year stronger, with better post moves, a different attitude, and that's why he's this high on this list. And if I wanted to be biased, I would put him higher than the guy that's next to him. So that guy is Bam Adebayo. Now, I got Bam at 5, and we know who Bam is, man. He's an elite defender, became a better scorer this year, all that stuff. But he's at 5 because all the guys below him are just not better. We should be looking at Bam like, oh, Bam and Rudy, that should be a conversation. Oh, Bam and Cat, that should be a conversation, but it's just not. But they aren't because he hasn't taken a step that we know he has in him. If he had a good series, they would have lost to Golden State in the finals instead of the Celtics. But Rob Will made him look really, really bad and scared, and that's why I'm so harsh on him because that was so hard to watch because that series was theirs if he would have had an impact at all, but he just didn't. And don't come under my video, especially you, Rudy, talking about, his versatility on defense, his versatility on offense, because I'm starting to get so tired, and I hate that argument because for me, versatility doesn't matter like that for centers. Yes, it's a plus, but it's guys I'm taking over him that are under him right now on my list because I know what I'm going to get from them. Like Jared Allen. I know with Jared Allen, I'm going to get elite pick and roll player, elite shot blocker, elite defender, elite rebounder, elite in the paint. I know I'm going to get all that. But then when I look at Bam, am I going to get Bam that wants to score 25 this game, or I'm going to get the Bam that takes 6 shots this game? Or am I going to get the Bam that's so elite on defense, or I'm going to get the Bam that's just chill? Like, I don't know with Bam. I'm damn near taking guys like Rob Will over him because I know I'm getting Rob Will. I'm getting a elite defender. I'm getting elite shot blocker. I know I'm getting all that, and I know I'm getting elite lob threat. But Bam, I just don't know sometimes what I'm getting from him. And that's why I just think that versatility stuff doesn't matter if we're not seeing it consistently. If we're seeing that versatility stuff every other game, who cares? I want to see that consistently, because I'm going to pick other players over you because I know what I'm getting from them. I don't know what I'm getting from Bam. I thought Bam was going to be able to cook against Rob Will. I was wrong. Then when Rob Will sat, what did Bam do? Drop that 28 out of nowhere. Like, that can't keep happening, bro. He has to be consistently Bam, consistently dominant. If not, then he's gonna be lower in these next coming lists in the next years. But yeah, he's at 5. He's at 5. Now, number 4, we have Karl-Anthony Towns. Cat had a decent season, made the All-Star team, helped this team make their first playoffs in a minute, made All-NBA. But he has the same thing with Bam. He's only here because the guys below him are just not better. Like, it's no argument for them. But looking at Karl-Anthony Towns' talent, he should be in conversations with guys like Jokic and Embiid. And I know it's crazy to say, but when looking at his talent, bro, he has no flaws on offense. No flaws on offense. And then when he was locked in on defense, he had a decent series defensively. But we can't put him in that upper echelon with them guys because he just doesn't show it at all. Like, we can't make no more excuses for him. Oh, he's had a bad team. I just seen Jokic carry Monte Morris as his second best player to his 6th seed in the West, over Cat, who had Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell. So we can't use that excuse no more. And then in this series where he should have dominated, because he himself took Steven Adams out of the playoff series, and Jared Jackson Jr. took himself out of the playoff series. So he was supposed to dominate, and he just didn't. He let Brandon Clark out-rebound him. He let even Brandon Clark strap him up at some games. That's why he's here. But looking at his talent, we should have arguments with him and Jokic and Embiid, but we can't. We just can't, because he just doesn't show it. So that's why he's here at 3. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. Rudy Gobert, for me, it's crazy that himself is the top 5 defense. That's wild. Like, that's why Trey was so high on my list, because himself is a top 5 offense. That's wild. And then looking at his impact, I don't think we can deny it anymore. It's a reason why, as soon as they took him off the team, you have to trade everybody else now, because we have no defense. And he's a big underrated part of why their offense was so dominant in the regular season. So that's why he's here on my list. And now for these last 2, I want to talk about them together because it's the argument. It's the Joel Embiid Jokic argument. And still to this day, I don't know how to explain it. I'm not going to lie. I'm taking Jokic every day of the week. The thing with Joel Embiid with me is, one, I think he's starting to become overrated on defense. He's a good defender, but I don't see the elite defense at all. I do like how dominant he is at sometimes, but I also hate how at sometimes he's not playing basketball. He's searching for that foul. Like, if you go back and watch that first game when James Harden got traded to the 76ers, and it was 76ers versus Nets, watch that first quarter when KD got in foul trouble because he was dead searching for, it was a play where he was in a post. I forgot. I think he had Andre Drummond on. He was at the top at the elbow. He was at the elbow. Back to the basket. KD was at the top of the key on, I don't know who, I think Tobias Harris. He was backing Andre Drummond down, turned around, knowing KD was going to help. Instead of shooting a shot, he did this. Like, stuff like that. It's just, I'm not a big fan of Joel Embiid. And if you watch my first few videos, like back in 2020, I was like, yo, and Joel Embiid, he has all the skills to be an MVP talent. Like, he has all the skills to be as dominant as we've seen in a long time. And he's shown that. But stuff like that has made me not a fan no more because it's just so hard to watch. But then when I'm watching Jokic carrying these sorry dudes to the playoffs to a 6 seed, being one of the most, if not the most impactful player in the league, I just can't put Joel Embiid over that for a little bit of better defense. I can't do that. So, yeah, that's why I'm taking Jokic. I just think Jokic is just a different breed. I think he is. Like, if we can get 50 games of Jamal and Michael Porter Jr., they fuck around with 65 games. That's how good Jokic is. And he's not just a regular season player. In the playoffs, he dominated. Like, yeah, Draymond had that one stop. But if we're looking at them stats, Motherfucker killed Draymond. He killed Draymond, but hey, that he don't pass the eye test. That's why people thought it was an argument in the MVP rate. It wasn't no damn argument. He led him in every stat except scoring. Led him in every stat. Team was better, and he had the better team overall. There's no player on the Nuggets that's close to Tyrese Maxey at all. There's no player on the Nuggets that's close to Tobias Harris at all. And then you get James Harden, and I'm still finishing with more wins than you. It's no argument. We're not having no argument here. I'm leading you at every. It's no argument. It's just he doesn't pass the eye test. They tried to make it the advanced stats he wore. No, like, come on now. Like, the media does not like Jokic. Drew Hanlon, if y'all know what that is, that nigga made me so mad because he was pushing so hard for Embiid to win the MVP that he was just down to Jokic. Oh, he don't pass the eye test. Oh, the advanced stats is not on my eye test. All that stuff. Jokic passes the eye test, and my eye test says he's better than Embiid by a mile.